My name is Nate. Thank you guys for showing up. I am a teacher, a generalist, a technologist, and an edupreneur. So that means that I started my company as not only a way to build websites, but also to educate people on technology. I wrote this comic book about how to build websites because I think that learning how to code can be really scary for people who are not familiar with it. But I taught myself how to code. And I think that really it's like learning anything else. If you can find this nice mix between something that is challenging, but also finding your interest in what that thing is, it's like learning how to play an instrument. You just practice and try it over and over again. In the past 5 years since I've been teaching people how to code, I've brought a lot of this philosophy to teaching to a lot of places. And I've noticed that even amongst my friend and peer group, people who don't code or people who are not in technology seem really sort of like excited about the idea of learning how to code. They're sort of like nervous about where their careers are going, and they see that like for some reason, I don't even know exactly what it is in their mind, but they sort of see like developers or programmers kind of have it like figured out. And I am not sure why all the time, but I have some inclination. I think that one of the things that's really key to learning how to code is you get really used to error detection and finding errors as a way to point you in the right direction. You know, we're taught in a lot of other situations that when we face a challenge, that we look for ourselves, like what did we do wrong? How can we change it? And I think that when you're sort of working on something new, instead of seeing those challenges as stopping blocks, as dead ends, you can see them as challenges pointing you in the right direction. And I think within developer communities, developers really crave these kinds of errors, right? You know, I think that when you're trying something new, whether it's building your own company, for example, when I quit my job for the first time 5 years ago, there was a lot of things I didn't know. I had a lot of fears, I had a lot of concerns, I had a lot of things I was going to need to try out. And I think that fear really is kind of an error detection system for yourself. When you feel that fear, you it's sort of pointing you in the right direction. Now, my company is founded on WordPress. And when I started, I wanted to help people learn how to build WordPress websites. But there's a lot of things I didn't know about building a business, about balancing the books, about how do you get clients, things like that. But I kind of threw myself in there. And anytime I tried something new, if it didn't feel right, I might try something else. And I found different communities of people who kind of came together for similar reasons. I've been a member here of this co-working space. Co-working has been a tremendous way to connect to people. Hackathons are communities of people who have this philosophy of confronting those errors, of confronting your fears and moving forward. Now, if you extrapolate this to a larger context, you have this idea of open source. Open source communities are groups of people who build products together. And a lot of times, these people are offering their free time. They're not even doing it for money. And when you talk to people in other contexts who are not familiar with this, it sounds too idealistic. It sounds so out there, like, this will never work, right? But the thing is that just with my own experience in WordPress, in 5 years, it's grown from 18% of the web to 26% of the web. So there are so many proven models of companies and organizations and products where people work collaboratively and confront these challenges and work together to make things better. I had a chance to see Matt Mullenweg, the founder of WordPress, at the WordPress meetup about a year ago. And one of the things that Matt said, he's been offered lots of money to sell his company. And he said, at some point, money doesn't matter. It's actually about impact. And again, you might be saying, well, that doesn't really work in a business context. But the numbers really don't prove that. Obviously, there are more and more examples, if you look at these kinds of opportunities, to see people coming together, collaborating, working on things, trying things out, failing fast, and learning and finding their way to progress. And in fact, I would say that's actually proven scientifically to prove happiness. So if you see the challenges as bumps along the road, things pointing you in the right way, you'll be happier overall. And the science proves this. So if you're wondering, how do you start something new? I think the answer is you start. You look for people who have this mindset, who want to see themselves grow and work with you together, and you find the way to your path. So thank you guys for listening. My name is Nate.